In today's video, we're talking about more evidence that discs are going away, the invite-only PS5, and if you really want to make your PS5 all metal. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to PSReady. This week, instead of using my iPad for all the news stories, my iPad's dead, so I'm holding my laptop here under the camera. It's a really good week for this two-host video with Ray.
It's going pretty good. Yeah, going pretty well.
Cool.
Nothing. I haven't been doing anything really too exciting lately. Just hanging out, trying to catch up on my backlog. Yeah, I'm finally like on the final stretch of Baldur's Gate 3. Like I'm leading up to the final confrontation. No spoilers here. I did it to myself. Like I'm trying to do as much as I can in that game and like not miss out on things or characters and things. Trying to do everyone's companion quests, side quests, and that's on me. That's on me. If I just like kind of bulldoze through it, if I was a complete dick in my playthrough, instead of like helping out everyone that comes along and is like, hey, can you save my mommy? Can you look for my friend who went missing in the forest? Probably would have been done a lot sooner.
So the first news story I have for everyone this week is about everyone's favorite franchise that seemingly everyone's played, but no one wants to admit: Horizon Forbidden West. So we have a complete edition of this game coming out very soon, and it's a cool edition of the game because everything is going to be on the disc. Like they figured this out because the spine of the disc has a like classification code, and if that code changes when the new version happens, that means there's a new disc that's updated. So long story short, all the content's going to be on the disc, and because of that, it's going to be a 2-disc release. We all thought that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was going to be the first 2-disc release on the PlayStation 5, but it's becoming the norm a lot sooner than we thought with Horizon Forbidden West. This is a sign, yet another sign that's going to be evidence used by Sony to say why that they're going to move away from discs, right? They're going to be like, look, it's expensive to produce these discs, less people are buying them every day. We have a big AAA game like Horizon, like Alan Wake from Remedy, coming to no discs or 2 discs in the case of Horizon, and then Square Enix is making Rebirth 2 discs. Is it time for us to get rid of them as well? What do you think of all this, Ray?
I think it could go 2 ways. You know, as we know, the gaming industry is shifting to more digital base. Like obviously everyone's Steam library, that's digital. If you play on PC, you're probably playing digital only titles. So yeah, I could see a company like, or publishers and platform holders like Sony and Microsoft going and being like, why are we producing these discs if no one's really buying them? Like, why are we investing that money in doing this? Or I could see Sony, I could see PlayStation maybe taking advantage of the situation a little bit that we're seeing brewing on Microsoft's side with these leaks. Obviously, leaks came out and revealed Microsoft's plans that may or may not come to fruition, and one of them was an all-digital Series X. And I didn't really think much of it. I was like, oh, cool. It's kind of like, you know, PlayStation 5 has a digital version. This will be their version, kind of. But I saw a lot of the discourse and a lot of the response to it was like, oh, digital only console, Xbox abandoning discs? This is BS. This is crap. What are we like this? No, I don't want this.
You know, I was like a little bummed just because I like physical games. I buy a lot of them on PlayStation, but this year, I really went all digital on PS5, I want to say, just because Final Fantasy 16, Dead Space, and Jedi Survivor, I bought all of those games digitally, and then I ended up buying Resident Evil Village to play the VR mode. I bought that digitally too, and it's because I buy games at launch. But the difference in why I care less on PC is because Steam has the Steam sales, which even if you compare that to the sales that Xbox and Sony do, it's totally different. Like the price discrepancy there, like Sony stuff costs a lot more usually. It used to be really good, like in the PS4 generation, you would get bigger discounts, like an extra 20% off for being a PS Plus sub. But now, since everyone has to be a PS Plus sub, they're not doing that anymore.
I miss clearance bins. I miss the air. Like, this is cool, like Horizon Forbidden West coming out on 2 discs. It's cool for the nostalgia factor because they used to do that a lot. But back in the day, it was like you didn't install games onto your console to play them. They played right off the disc. So I remember like in Final Fantasy VII playing it on the original PlayStation, you know, when you got to the end of that first half, there were like okay, insert disc number 2 if you want to continue this epic, amazing adventure. And that's something that I miss and we can't really replicate nowadays, because now it's like, oh, you gotta install disc 2 in order to play. Like, you have to eventually install both things. So I don't know. That magic's kind of gone.
I think we're going to see more games coming out, though, that need 2 discs, just because we're in the next gen now, right? Like, we're going to have games that have huge texture files, huge animation files, localization, like languages and everything like that. All that takes up space. Like Diablo 4, for example, on PC, when you download it, it lets you decide whether or not you're going to get the 4K texture files. So having that option is cool on PC. I don't know. It's kind of interesting to think about, though. I will be buying this complete edition on PC, where it'll be all digital. I never really put time into Horizon, so I don't really care.
I think people will be interested in these 2 disc releases. And I'm looking at this article and we're seeing, like, you know, Final Fantasy Rebirth is going to have those 2 discs. The Nioh Collection is also going to have 2 discs, but it's going to be like 2 different games, obviously. I think people will be interested in that, like, especially people with big physical libraries.
The 2 disc situation's pretty cool, I think. I'd rather them do that than make all digital, but we'll see where things go in the future. We did have 2 disc PS4 games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Cyberpunk, but yeah, we haven't seen too many here on PS5. All right, this next news story, though, Ray. Sony is doing everything they can to convince us that there won't be a PS5 Slim this year, and the latest thing that they're doing is releasing new plates for the PlayStation 5. So this is called the Deep Earth Collection, and I thought it was going to be like a military themed thing, like it's red, white, and blue, but it turns out that they're metallic. They're Deep Earth, so you get cobalt red or cobalt blue, something red, regular silver, all these crazy colors.
I'm gonna be real. I'm a simple man, okay? I see something shiny, I'm like, ooh, shiny. Even though, like, we've seen red plates for PlayStation 5. We've seen blue plates for PlayStation 5. But something about these, and it may be just like in these digital renders that they have for the marketing and stuff, but there's something about them where I'm like, ooh, that's kind of cool. Like, there's something about it, you know?
So are you gonna go for the plates, or like would you rather have the DualSense? Like, what are you thinking here?
I would rather have the plate. Yes.
Yeah.
There's something about this blue that's like a different kind of, like, it's popping out to me. It's catching my eye. This blue. I had a Game Boy SP that was 2-toned. That was half black, half silver, and it's giving me the same vibes as this PS5, this sterling silver covers for the PS5.
I'm really still rocking the black plates. I think they look really good. I wanted the Spider-Man ones, but they sold out so quickly. I ended up getting the Spider-Man controller. It's over on my desk. I think that looks great. Like, I'm really into that Spider-Man DualSense controller. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool that they're releasing all these plates and stuff like that. And they're catching up with Microsoft a little bit too, because I feel like Microsoft can't go 30 minutes without releasing a new controller colorway. I just saw they have a black and gold one that looks so cool. And
it actually looks pretty cool.
I kind of want it.
They're releasing a lot of different controller colors and stuff. And, you know, I think this is a good time to come out with these plates, especially because not a lot of people probably got their hands on those Spider-Man plates that really wanted them. And so if they're looking for, like, hey, maybe you can't get the special edition Spider-Man controllers, but hey, you can get this cool, like, shiny red PlayStation plates that kind of looks like in the spirit of Spider-Man, like with his suit and stuff. I think that's a cool option to have.
Have you heard of this new promotion where if you buy a PlayStation 5 from now until October 20th, which is coming up quick, that's like a week from next Friday, so 2 weeks from Friday, you get a free game with it, and the list is pretty good. Like, it's got stuff like Ghost of Tsushima's Director's Cut, God of War Ragnarok, I don't know, like Spider-Man Remastered, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Demon's Souls, Returnal, like any game you can think of for the PlayStation 5 is pretty much on this list if it's a Sony game. And I was sitting there thinking, like, okay, so the way this works is when you buy your new PlayStation 5, you connect it to the internet and it says, okay, you bought it before October 20th. You're activating your console for the first time. Here's your free game selection. So I was like, this is a great deal, right? It's a $500 PS5. You're getting a free game. Nice. what if you bought one of these $500 bundles, like the ones that have Diablo 4, Modern Warfare 2, God of War Ragnarok, and then you bought that because those are on sale for $500 right now, pretty much everywhere. You brought your console home, you connected it to the internet, and then you also copped a free game, right? Like I was saying, I don't know. I don't think they have a system to say like, oh, this PS5 came from a bundle. This isn't going to work with this promotion. And then suddenly they've updated the wording on this promotion to say it's by invite only. So I feel like maybe people were getting wise here, doing what I was saying to do, and Sony kind of caught on to it and said, we're going to figure out a way to make sure this is not a bundle. I feel like people were doing this. Like they were buying the bundles for $500 on sale at Target, at Amazon, Walmart. They're bringing them home. They're activating their free game from Sony, and then they were taking their code for God of War Ragnarok and just punching it into the store.
It's weird because with this new wording, by invitation only, like what are the criteria that you need to meet in order to get an invitation for your game or for your code? For like, I have a lot of questions about this.
The newest game on that list is God of War Ragnarok, which there are many ways to get that game for free at this point. I feel like they're being a little stingy over there at Sony right now.
And the deadline is coming up.
And the whole goal behind this was clearly to clear out the stock of the PS5s that they have so they can get this PS5 Slim out there, right? So if people knew they could get 2 free games, like that would get more people to buy a PlayStation 5, I think. Especially a lot of these games on the list are cross-gen, so I guess you might own a few of them already, but there are a couple next-gen only games on there, and you could have some fun getting 2 free games, right?
Dang, especially if you wanted to like play both of the Spider-Man games before Spider-Man 2 came out.
Dude, yeah, that's a
Miles
deal.
And yeah.
I was telling everyone don't do either of the Spider-Man games, like because A, Miles Morales is like $30 now all the time. It goes as low as 20, but B, you could get the $50 Ultimate Edition and then Spider-Man Remastered comes with it for free. So picking either of those games is a bad deal. I was saying God of War Ragnarok, dude. Like that's the go-to.
I don't, but I would Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. I'd put like right behind there.
We have the same first and second choice.
But like Returnal, but I wouldn't like it's Returnal, great game.
Yeah.
But I would say like,
but it's on PS Plus Extra.
Yeah, the value would be better used for God of War Ragnarok and Ghost of Tsushima for like the playtime and like those are my top 2 games for me.
I agree. I just thought it was funny that like I told everyone if they're going to take advantage of the deal to go buy the bundle and see if it works, and then suddenly a week later they're like, actually,
like, wait a minute.
Yeah, we're not giving you that good of a deal.
What video did you say that in?
All right, so the last news story I have for you is actually pretty interesting if you are a PlayStation subscriber. So if you're looking at the whole streaming wars situation between, you know, like Apple, Netflix, and then all the studios who have their own streaming services like Paramount and NBC Universal. The one that really came out on top, I feel, is Sony, because instead of making their own streaming service, they just made deals with everyone. They were like, okay, Peacock, you get Twisted Metal. They're like, HBO, you get The Last of Us. Netflix, we're making a deal with you where all of our movies go to Netflix 30 days after they're in theaters, right? Now Sony has a new streaming service where they collect all of these movies to own called Sony Bravia Core, but now I guess it's being called Sony Pictures Core, and you can get movies on there, and the reason you might want to do that is because the bitrate is super good. So when you stream them to your TV, they're going to look way better than they do on Apple or Amazon or Netflix, right? And now they made it so that there's an app available on the PS5 and PS4, and if you're subscribed to PS Plus, some of the higher tiers, you'll be able to get early access to purchasing these movies, which is actually pretty cool for me as someone who buys movies, because I did the math, and the amount of movies I watch every year at home, it's like way cheaper for me to just buy the ones I want versus having every streaming service, because, you know, Netflix is the only one to me that's worth keeping because it has The Walking Dead at this point. So yeah, I think this is kind of cool, and it's adding another perk to PS Plus that I think actually provides value.
Sony has a really interesting situation where I really think that their kind of like entertainment ecosystem could be something really big going into the future. You know, we saw really good buzz and success and critical response to The Last of Us. They're doing movies like with that GT7 movie that I've been hearing pretty good things about. They have like very interesting IPs that translate well not only into video games but into film and television. It's very interesting, and seeing how they kind of merge those two. And this is, I feel like, could be a good first step of like, oh, you know, if you like our video games, check out our movies and our television. Oh, if you like, you saw...
They have a lot of stuff in the works. I saw a news article on that parody site, Hard Drive. It was like, interesting, Ratchet seen using a regular gun. And it was like a picture of Ratchet and Clank next to just like a screenshot of a pistol. It was so funny. I think the big cool thing is that if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, you're gonna get like up to 20 days early access to movies, like being able to purchase them. It doesn't seem like a huge benefit, but I think it's cool. So yeah, that pretty much covers it for this video. Make sure you let us know what you think down in the comments below. Remember to subscribe and set your notifications to all if you haven't already. As always, I'm Jimmy. That's Ray. He's over there on my phone. We'll see you in a couple weeks. You'll see Ray over the next couple weeks, but it won't be in a 2-host video. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. See ya.
See ya.